Hi, this is Tina Cesa Ward, and you're watching WebVee Guide.
I am Daniela DiIorio. I am here talking with the beautiful and talented Tina. It's Cesa or Cesa?
It's
because
Cesa,
in Italian
yes.
it would be Cesa.
Cesa. Yes,
okay.
And it's an Italian name,
Cesa,
but yeah, it's an Italian middle name, but somehow it's wrong, pronounced wise. So you know, it's what happened when they got it.
Oh, those people, those boat people. So Tina,
yes,
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, geez.
Your background in writing and the entertainment world, basically.
Well, my background, originally I worked in independent film, did a lot of shorts, and kind of worked towards doing, the feature. Everybody wants to do the feature. I did do a very micro-budget feature, and then I wanted to do a bigger feature, which was coming together, but you know how it goes, everything falls apart. So it kind of fell apart in like 2007, and someone had mentioned to me about trying perhaps doing a web series, which seemed just crazy at the time because there really wasn't anything. All I could remember at that time was Quarter Life, which was the big one, and that's in Quarter Life. And that's about it. And I mean, I met people later on, but that were doing some at the time I didn't know about. Like Tom Woodley and Kathleen Grace, they did, their great shows, earlier than most. But I'd never really done anything episodic before either. I've always just wanted to, do features, and so I kind of really had to think about whether I wanted to do anything episodic. And I think I've kind of looked at TV and try to think, well, is there a show that's like standing out to me that I feel like, oh, that's more than just your average TV show, and obviously, like so many people out there, I was a big Buffy fan, and that was like a show that I thought, wow, this is like above like TV. It had like so many great themes, and it was about so much good stuff, and it was emotional and funny and all this stuff. And I just thought, wow, well, maybe TV can be a lot more than I'm giving it credit for. So I just kind of embarked on thinking about what kind of show I wanted to do, and anyone but me kind of came to me as I was thinking about what it was like at the time, which was like 2007, the fact that a lot of the teens at that time were growing up in New York and never knew what New York was like before 9/11, and how it was now and still is, it's a hyper-aware city of terrorism, and so I just thought that was a fascinating idea, and kind of sad that they never know what it was like to ride the subway without, the see something, say something, without cops, without army guys, with, all that stuff is just such a big part of them. So then I just kind of came up with, Vivian, and then kind of hashed out, the story, and I wrote 10 episodes of it with also somebody else, Stephen Alexander, who was on the show really, really early on, and we wrote out the first 10 episodes, and just kind of went with it and tried to find somebody that could help us, that had experience, that knew more about episodic, and could maybe give the project a little cachet and all that. And so that's kind of how I found Susan, and she really liked it and said, I'll do it, but I also want to write for it. And of course we were like, of course. So yeah, so then that happened, and then 2008 came along. I think we shot like our first promos for it early on, and then in 2008, December of 2008, we got our first episode launched on Strike TV. So that went on until we wrapped in 2012, in early May of 2012, I believe. So it was a big chunk of time on Anyone But Me for me, and on one project, and it was great, all consuming all the time. But it's certainly it was certainly something I wasn't used to, because I normally do just shorts or little projects where you get them done, then you move on to the next project. So that was a little different for me. But yeah, I mean, it was a great to work on, learned so much, just for me, craft-wise, and just everything-wise, really. And yeah, so I did Anyone But Me, and then in between there, like towards the tail end, I did a mini-series called Good People in Love, which is something I wanted to do that was kind of more scaled back. I just wanted like a few people on the crew, and just wanted to do something very intimate and very much kind of cinematic, in a lot of ways, kind of 70s filmish. And so I just wanted to do the mini-series and not do a full-scale series yet. I mean, Anyone But Me was still going on. So yeah, so then I embarked and did 5 episodes of that. And then I did Bestsellers. I directed Bestsellers, which Susan wrote and created, and we did with Wilson Cleveland, and which was a branded series, which was fun to do as well. And now I'm doing a new series called Producing Juliet. So it's been a busy time.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about Producing Juliet. So what's this about? Is this? I want to know what inspired you. You touched into what inspired you to do Anyone But Me, which was that's awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was something that you wanted to touch upon. Having New York be something pre 9/11 and then post 9/11. That's very cool. It didn't even occur to me that that would have been your inspiration. One thing that I did like, though, that you didn't make it completely about 9/11. You brought it up enough that it wasn't overdone, because definitely, like, even still, like in 2007 and 2008, that's kind of all you associated New York with was 9/11, 9/11, the towers and all that. But you brought it up into a point to make it aware in the web series, but not like shoving it down your throat. It was more about the story, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it so much. It was I mean, that, and also the acting was insane. And as I confessed to Susan, I am kind of in love with Archibald.
I understand.
He was a big driving home point for me. I was very sad that in season 3, I was like, what? No. Yeah. I've been meaning to tell you this pretty much since I met you, but I never had time at all of the events that we've been at. So this is my confession time to you.
Yeah, I would have loved to.
But anyway.
But for longer, but it didn't work out, so,
I heard. I'm still so upset. And I have a boyfriend, it's fine, whatever. But still, he is a very beautiful man. Anyway, so please tell me about your new show with Rochelle Dansel.
Yeah, it's called Producing Juliet. Rochelle Dansel is a producer. Also, Alison Venor is my producer. So it's kind of fun to have producers on either side of me, basically, one in LA and one in London. And it certainly makes for fun kind of meeting times. But it's fantastic because Allison is a complete whiz, and has obviously been our producer on Anyone But Me, but is also just a real good whiz with production, and she kind of just brings a calm, and I know that she'll get everything done, and she thinks like me, and so it's fantastic. And Rochelle's great with marketing, and is really going to push the heck out of the show, building the website, doing all that other great stuff, and so I'm thrilled to have both of them, and I've known Rochelle. We went to London last year in November to do a DVD release of season 2 and season 3 release kind of party in London. so I got to actually meet and hang out and talk with Michelle more. So it was pretty awesome. And so we started talking about this, and really my main, kind of one of my big thoughts with producing Juliet, which is about a woman that's kind of in a relationship that's just not working and realizes that she needs a new focus. She needs something else to mean something to her, and she runs into kind of a lovelorn playwright who is desperately looking to get like a sophomore hit, and they kind of hit it off in one evening at a premiere of opening night of Juliet's old play, and they hit it off, and on just a whim, Rebecca, the lead character, decides that she's going to produce Juliet's play, and she knows nothing about theater or anything. And so essentially the series will be about that producing of Juliet's new play, and it will also they'll bring with it like everybody's drama to the stage. So it'll be a lot of fun. So, but my thought with doing that series was that I had thought about doing a play for a couple of years now.
Oh.
And I had done theater, a little bit of theater, before I jumped into doing Anyone But Me. I'm not really a big theater director, like it's not what I went to school for, but I just kind of jumped into it because I wanted to be directing, and I wanted to learn kind of the craft of working with actors, so I decided to go into theater, and that would kind of help. And so I really wanted to do a play, but I just feel like, well, what's kind of the point of doing a play? Like, maybe you get, especially in New York, there's so much theater, so to try to get an audience that you don't know is not the easiest. And so I just felt like it might not have been the best move career-wise to just go and spend all this time to do a play. So I had thought about the idea of doing a play, or at least doing one within a web series. So essentially, that's kind of what's happening. And we're actually going to, the play that they will be putting up in the season, we have plans to actually put that play up, actually live. And so you'll have the web series, and you'll see everything that goes on with getting the play up, but we'll also have a run, hopefully in New York, and on Rochelle's part, hopefully in London, and or either one. And we'll have and we're hoping to have the cast in it and all of that stuff. So kind of be another kind of cross promotion for the series and for the play. So that was kind of the planning and a lot of the thought that went into wanting to do this new series. So because Rochelle does theater out there.
I didn't know that Rochelle did theater.
Yeah, she did. She produced. Actually, when we were in London last November, she was producing Tape in the West End. So that with guys from EastEnders was in it and everything, and so yeah, so that kind of got us talking because I love London, and I just had this fantasy of doing a play in London. So we just really kind of got talking about it, and she'll be a big essential part of that piece. And I just said, well, why don't you be a big part of the web series as well? So that's kind of how it all kind of came about. And then with the series, I kind of quickly pushed it into kind of production, and we're going to actually premiere the first episode at Rain Dance, and which is really exciting. And it's a great festival, and I'm so excited to be part of a film festival, especially of that caliber. That's embracing the web, and they've been a big part of it, and understanding that the web is important, and really nurturing artists, and with their classes and all that stuff. So it's fantastic to be going to Rain Dance, and I get to go back to London. So it's a great thing. So that was kind of a big reason why we started. I had them written, but it was in development with somebody else, and it had just the contract had just fallen out, and so it was back to me again. So I just quickly just shot 2 episodes in 2 days. I probably lost a lot of lives off my little life, and And yeah, so then we just ran, and kind of in the middle of finishing them up now. and yeah, so it's fantastic though. But I should mention, I've got kind of a great cast. Rachel Flores plays Juliet, and I have a great bunch of like actors that were from theater here. Alicia Spielman's playing Rebecca, and then I have Jenny Grace is in it, and then I have Stacey Raymond is in it, and then I have Andy Phelan, who was going to be in Guards of Dagmar for me. So I'm happy to get to work with him, actually. And Kevin Sebastian is in it. And some newcomers as well, Betty Kaplan.
Where's Archibald?
I know. Now I'm going to have to work on that.
I feel like maybe you should. I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it. It's fine. But I would be more enticed to watch it if Archibald was. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put it out. I'm sure it's fantastic. I know your work. I love it. It's just that like extra bonus, when you have the cherry on the sundae. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I can. What if I put a picture of him? I could put a picture of him in like one of the dressing rooms or something.
Perfect. Just have Rachel Flores holding the picture of him.
Yeah.
Like this.
Very nice.
No, I know you. Your work is fantastic, and it's amazing, and I'm sure that it's going to be wonderful. Like I'm really excited to see this. And when you had said it's going to be, I don't know if I missed that in the delay, but it's going to be premiering when, and where can we find it?
Well, it's premiering at Raindance, which is during their WebFest, which is September 28th
Yes.
and 29th. So it'll premiere then, so it won't be online or anything until after then. And we're not completely sure when we're launching it online yet. We're still kind of thinking about that. I'm trying to shop it around a little bit too. I think it'll be in the fall, definitely, but I don't have a definite kind of launch date for when it's actually. So everybody has to go to London. That's how it goes.
Oh. Darn. I used to live in London. It was right in between like Break a Leg and Leap Year. I used to live there.
Oh, wow.
I lived there for about a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so much fun. I love London. It's an incredible city, and the theater alone, I've seen way too much theater. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't think it's too much, but I've seen like plays multiple times, like just because I wanted to. Right when I went was when Spring Awakening was getting a lot of press.
Yeah.
And it was just released. Oh my God, that was an incredible play. Like they just have some of the best theater I've ever seen, and it was just so awesome to be able to go out on a Friday night and just be like, okay, what play am I going to see?
Yeah.
It was so accessible. It wasn't a big event, I loved that.
That
it was amazing. What's that?
I said you don't have that there.
In LA?
I know.
No. It's such a big production here. Like when you go to see the theater, it's like a whole like, oh my God, it's here, da 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 da. Like, I mean, I know that there is some theater, but it's not like London. It's not like New York. Like it's not. You guys are so lucky. I am like so jealous because it's just when you go to Times Square and you see all of theater like just in your face like that I mean, the first time I went, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I've never seen anything like that, and it was just it's so inspiring, and I'm going to sound like a total dork right now, but like the first time I went there, I like got a little emotional because I was like, I can't believe this is like this is entertainment. Like people are like all around, and this is like thriving. And it was just, it made me like really emotional because I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. So many people are living their dream like right in this moment, like right here. And it was just really cool.
Yeah.
It was like a cool feeling.
Yeah, I love living in New York. I mean, I love London, and I think if anybody said, "Hey, come work in London," I would be there in an instant. New York will always kind of be my home, but I also love it here so much because there's so much more around to inspire you. So it's, just even I've been working so hard in post on producing Juliet, and I just said, oh, I have to kind of get away from it, and I'm just like, oh, I'll just go to the Whitney and see the Edward Hopper exhibit, and it's just like there's all those little things that you can just go do. And then I went to Museum of the Moving Image a couple of days later, and saw some stuff there, and it's just like it's what's kind of wonderful about New York is that you can still be artistically energized, but it doesn't have to be about film or TV or any of that. You could still find like artistic inspiration everywhere, and that's why I love it. It's pretty awesome.
My whole plan after college was to move to New York. Like I had always wanted to live there. It was just something that I like always wanted to do. Like, and after I graduated, leap year happened like literally right after, and then we were all talking about moving, and they decided that it would be better to move to LA, and that I could do whatever I wanted. But I was like, this would be really stupid if I left this opportunity right here that I already started like 5-6 years ago. And then went to New York and basically like didn't have a crew, had to start from scratch basically.
Yeah.
And so I moved to LA, where I vowed my whole life that I would never ever live there.
Yeah.
Yep. LA is okay. It's fine. I definitely wouldn't talk about it the way that you're talking about New York. Like, I kind of hate you a little bit right now.
I understand. I get it. I definitely get it. I've been out there enough, and I lived there really briefly when I was in my early 20s, and it just didn't work out. But I have so many great friends there, so it keeps me from hating it, which is a good thing. Because I have to go out there often, and I always am just like, duh, I don't want to go out there. But I love my friends out there. They're, some of my closest people live on the West Coast, so it does help. But yeah, I hear you. It's there's something about it. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, I don't know. I can't. I know what you mean. There's something about it. Like, you can't really say anything more than that. Like,
yeah.
I feel so bad because things are moving along with us, and my boyfriend, he lives in San Francisco, and
Yeah.
I was like, do you think that you can come move down into LA for a couple of years? And so now he's moving for me to a city that we both don't like. And it's like, oh, he's like, man,
Yeah.
you couldn't have moved to New York, huh? And I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so we will find out where we can find it on the internet, Producing Juliet, probably sometime in the fall via your Twitter.
Oh
or
yeah.
Facebook.
I mean, we'll have a website up. It's called producingjuliet.com. You could just go to producingjuliet.com, and then our Twitter will be there, and more information about the show will be there, and the trailer will be up, so you'll at least get to see the trailer, and then hopefully the episode at some point when we decide to put it up. But yeah, so yes, I guess that's it. Producing Juliet.
Well, cool. So we can find it on producingjuliet.com, and that's where your Twitter handle will be. And then what is your Twitter? Where can we find you?
Well, the Twitter handle for Producing Juliet is producing Juliet. That makes it easy. And then my Twitter handle is TCWNYC. So, you know, I had like
TCW.
NYC, yeah. It's one of
Just
those
really
like.
Gotta drive them that you're in NYC, huh?
What's that?
So you just gotta really drive it home that you're in New York, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, it was during that time where, you know, because we got on Twitter so early, where you actually still used handles. Like nobody does that anymore. Everybody just uses their names. But like early on Twitter, when it first came about, no one used their name. Everybody used like a handle. So it's kind of left over from the handle days. Now everybody just uses their name.
Well, I didn't use my name because I didn't want people. I don't know. There was something I wanted something there that like made it kind of silly and like reflected off my personality. So I get it. I think we're lucky that we discovered it early on.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, it's amazing that I've been on it for that long, and how time flies by. And same with same with Hulu, which you guys as well. But you know, it's amazing. You know, I had chat with Hulu, and they're like, "Oh, you've been around since Hulu's been around." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's true. We've been on Hulu almost as long as Hulu."
I remember when you were on Hulu. I remember that when you got on, it was like, "Whoa, oh my God, look at this! Like they're so cool!" Blah blah blah. You know, I remember that. That was really exciting because it was kind of you like kind of in a way gave us like hope, like, okay, let's keep going, like, you know. And like, yeah, I have to thank you for that because it was like things were being taken seriously. That's how we felt when we saw you guys, and that was really inspiring.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks. I mean, it was, you know, all credit to Hulu as well for getting behind it and actually letting us stay with them, because we worked hard to get our own account with them, because that's not the norm on Hulu. So yeah, I mean, credit to them for doing it, and you know, and also, I mean, credit to also the Writers Guild, which I'm thrilled to be a part of, and that they were smart enough and understood how important the web was becoming, and recognizing it with an award, and you know, just their support. And we're always talking to the Writers Guild, and they're always like, what else can we do to help you? And you know, it's fantastic. I wish SAG-AFTRA would get on the stick with their possible awards. I mean, you got the PGA and the Writers Guild. What the heck?
Thank you so much for chatting with me. Anyway, have a great time, and I will be looking forward to your show. I'm excited to see it. So good luck with all the post work, and have fun in New York, because I know you will. And let me know when you're in LA.
Will do.
Okay?
Will do. All right. Take care. So long.
Bye.